There we go. Okay. What's going on, everybody? I'm just getting back from the nursery, and I wanted to ask a few questions. Well, not just ask a few questions, but I wanted to talk about your fruit tree purchases in the garden this year with everything going on. All right. With everything going on, I wanted to ask you guys a couple of questions. Hey, how you doing? Let me see who's in here. All right, Moses Wilson and Dale Homestead. How we doing, Tamika? Broke Farmer, what's up, Brother Broke? That's Brother Broke right there. What's up, Sylvia Ruth? Black's Tropical Homestead. What's going on, family? Hey, Asia Hunter. Hey, Deloria. How we doing? I'm gonna tell y'all something else too. For the people that like to spell their names in some different kind of font, nobody can read your name. It always looked like hieroglyphics. I'm just telling you, I don't know how it looks on your computer screen, but when you put your name or title in a different weird font, it looks like some kind of weird hieroglyphics, or usually um some trolls like to do that and it throws us off. So I'm just giving y'all a little heads up. Let me see. What's going on, One Humble Soul? Beth, Beth Crane. What's going on? Have you ever dealt with canker on your trees? Yes, I have. Hey, Craig Curry. What was that? What's going on? Thank you so much. What's up, B Rich? What's up, man? Say, what's up, people? Crazy storms rolling through Atlanta, Georgia. We are literally, ours just died down. I'm really in and outside of my garage. Well, I can't flip that up, but I'm sitting right under the overhang of my garage right now, because you can see the raindrops still falling behind me. Let me see. What's up, Blue Wings? Say, I'm good to see you on here. Thank you, Beth. Thank you. Callie Homestead with Pooh Bears in the house. How we doing today? Okay. I'm going to totally switch up some game that I've been talking about for years. Okay. Besides the storms going on, with all the stuff that we got going on, I'm gonna have to go in the backyard faster than I wanted to. Uh, yeah. See, I don't know what that is, but I can't do that. All right. And for barbecue, what's going on? What's going on? Let me see. Let me see. I have a Miwa kumquat on the way to Gaffney. Do you think I can plant it outside? I don't know. I don't know what that is or where that is. I have no idea. You got to do your research. You got to read. You got to Google. You got to know your zone, know your grow zone. Hey, Led, have you ever tried making? No, I haven't. I don't even know what that is or how to pronounce it. Just, hey, get, go easy on me. I'm just learning kombucha. Kombucha had me licked for a couple years. So let me see, Led. Thank you for the RV video. Oh, we are not done with the RV video. We are not done. That's just one part of that segment, because there's so much more to talk about. Let me see. We are expecting storms here in North Carolina in a couple of hours. Yeah, it's not over here. That's why I'm trying to hurry up. See, I bought so many fruit trees this spring. Okay, if you bought a lot of fruit trees, can you handle it? Do you know what you're doing? Because you can buy a lot and not know what you're doing and kill them all. So that's part of the stuff I was talking about. Like, everybody is trying to do too much, even though we should be working hard. Don't do so much where all of your effort, you're going to kill your garden. For what family of four, how many fruit trees should we plant? This is not a catering business. Ain't no how many for family of four for that question. There is no such thing of how many fruit trees should I plant for a family of four. There's no such thing. This is not catering. This is, you need to be planting as many fruit trees as you can fit in your yard. Put them in buckets, put them in 5-gallon buckets, put them in containers, put them in the ground, graft onto them. You need to be doing anything and everything you know how to do. There is no such thing as how many for a family of four. I don't know, that question has started popping up for everything, and it's hard to pay attention to that question. I'm that question throws me off all the time. How many of XYZ should I do for a family of four? It don't matter what video I'm doing, I keep getting that question. That question doesn't apply to anything unless you about to have a wedding or a birthday party or something. Let me see. See, I have some in the ground and some in buckets. At the moment, just planted 2 figs today. That's right, motivation. I said do everything. Do everything. There's no, let me take these. I got these apples I need to give to my chickens on my tripod, and it's making my legs drop. Okay, the weight of the apples was driving me down. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this right now. How long can trees stay in a pot before they gotta go into the ground? It depends on what kind of tree you got. It depends on what kind of fruit tree you have in there. It all depends. And then you could actually leave it in indefinitely if you're willing to, every year or two, go down there and cut the roots completely, cut them 2/3 of the root ball off, and then basically cut the whole tree at the top damn near bald, and then start over. You could keep it in a container indefinitely if you're willing to do that every couple of years. How warm should we keep them? You're going to have to Google some of that. Okay, let's get right into this, because some of this, those are Google questions, okay? Here's the question I'm asking you. What size fruit tree should you be growing right now? I was coming home and I was thinking about this. They wanted $89 for a tree that I was looking at a moment ago, okay? $89. And I'm like, I ain't paying that. They must be crazy, right? But the trunk on the tree was about like that. And then I got to thinking on while I'm driving home. I said no and I left the store empty-handed. But while I'm driving home, I'm thinking the bigger that trunk of that tree is, it was an apple tree, that's how much more mature it is. And the root system was bigger, and it came in a bigger pot. It was actually blooming. It was already fruiting. Believe it or not, $89 was a steal, and I regret it. On the last 5 miles, I got closer to my house. I regretted every moment not grabbing that tree. But another one, I couldn't put it in my truck. I couldn't fit it in there. So I'm gonna tell you this. When it comes to you purchasing your fruit trees, I used to say buy them small. You even buy a little whip tree, and wait, right? If you've been with me for years, you've heard me say just wait on it. That whip is going to turn into a monster fruit tree, and they do, I don't take that back. But right now, it's still nothing wrong with buying smaller trees, but at the same time, somebody said that's a steal. Yeah, I was thinking that on my way home. It had apples on it, little. They had just got done blooming and been pollinated. At the same time, with the way the world is right now, we really don't have time to waste. So I've had a couple of experimental plants, for instance, that you got to pull in it's cold, take out when it's hot, pull in when it's cold, that kind of stuff, right? This right now, family, is no time to be running those kind of experiments. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying have your priorities ready first. I'm going to finish talking this and then I'm going to take you on a tour just to show you what I'm talking about. Right now, we don't have time to start out growing things that this is this big. Now, if it's a mad grower like papaya, um, pomegranate, things this little, a turn like this in one season. But most vegetables and most fruit trees, they need a lot of time to establish themselves. So you may want to go ahead. I hate to say this part. I want to say go ahead and some of these trees you may want to spend a little extra on if you can foot the bill because you're going to get that return almost immediately. You're going to get your money back. Now, no, listen, I'm living proof. No matter no matter what you do, you're going to get your money back. No matter how much money you spend on your garden or your fruit trees, you're going to get your money back. Years ago, I had people saying he don't plant that many vegetables. He can't feed his whole family off of just, lettuce and stuff like that. Why do he have so many fruit trees? I swear somebody said this. Why do he have so many fruit trees? Where's your garden at? See, gardening in the ground, the lettuce and the broccoli and the kale and stuff like that, for years has been mostly my wife doing that. I did it, but my wife, that's her thing. You understand? I mean, that's her thing. I know to dig a hole, put it in the ground, boom, it's going. Your broccoli, your kale, your mustard greens, I love that simplicity. But when it comes to all of that other stuff, that's her expertise. And I leave it right there. Now, when it comes to these fruit trees, here was my philosophy for buying fruit trees over purchasing things in the garden. This is why. Because in one space, in one square footage, just say you got 10 square feet. You got 10 square feet of space. How much vegetables can you grow in 10 square feet? Not that very much. But if you put a fruit tree in 10 square feet of space, it's going to give you more food than you could ever eat in your life. You can't eat that much food because that tree is going to grow straight up and it's going to branch out and it's going to give you fruit on every doggone tip and branch of that tree. More food. Now, people say, well, you just can't be eating fruit. You can turn that fruit into anything. You do not have to eat that fruit sweet and sugary. You could turn it into anything and make it healthy. So for me, I was always just on my fruit trees all the time. So with that being said, my question again to you is, should you go ahead and buy the little whip tree from some of these online nurseries? Or should you buy the little thin tree from a big box store? Or when you go to a nursery or something and see that one with that trunk on him like this, should you grab that? I'm going to say this, all of the above. I'm going to say yes. Go ahead and get those whipped trees online. I'm going to say yes if you're at a big box store and you see one of these trees like this. I say yes, grab that. And I say if you got something left over, I say you get you one or two of them ones with the trunk like that. And I mean it. Because if you get one or two of them with that big trunk, with the big gigantic pot with the root system ready to go and it's blooming and it's bud and there's little bits of fruit on it, you're going to start getting that return immediately. You're going to start seeing the difference. And then you're going to see a good amount of fruit that second season. But after that, once that root system, because it's already strong, Once that root system establishes itself, there's pretty much nothing else you got to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a little bit of proof of that. Now, I want to ask anybody this. How many people I got living in the South with me? I'm in the Carolinas. How many people is past that Bible Belt down in the South? Because I got something important I want to show you. Because this ain't going to be a long video. I mean it. Not today. Me and my wife about to do a cheese tasting. A cheese and kombucha. And Lady Leg gonna tell y'all, instead of cheese and wine, she came up with cheese and kombucha. That kombucha I've been making, taste that with some sharp cheddar. Taste that kombucha with some sharp cheddar and watch what happens. So okay, we got a lot of people in the South. Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Texas. I seen a couple Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. Okay. I'm going to North Florida, North Carolina. I'm going to Oklahoma. That's a little up north. Oh, you said something, but you don't know, but I'm in Oklahoma. No, that's not in the South, my friend. Oklahoma ain't in the South. Okay. So here's the deal. I'm about to show you how, okay, for all the people in the South, how many people want to grow apples and it's hard to do. I'm going to show you 2 guaranteed trees for the South that's usually a northern tree. I'm going to show you 4 southern apple trees. Guaranteed apple tree. Guaranteed. No guessing around, no wondering if they're going to work or not. And then I'm going to show you several guaranteed pear trees. Guaranteed, because those are 2 trees, family, that all of them don't work down here in the South. If you're in the South and you're trying to grow a Honeycrisp apple tree, you're in for a rude awakening. I know they said you could push the limits, and I know climate change is changing things, but at the same time, do you really want to gamble with that? Okay, so I'm going to let me see. I have a combo tree from Isons. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Let me see. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to show you my first apple tree. So walk with me. I got to remember to take these apples. I'm going to put them in my pocket so I don't forget them. I was going to feed these to I can't eat them for a while, so I'm going to feed them to the chickens. Okay, and somebody just said they killed their avocado tree. My avocado is dead. It made it through the first cold snap, but this last one that we had the other day finished it off. My heart was broken, but we got to keep on moving. Okay, I'm about to show y'all right now. Let's go. All right. I'm going to show you the first guaranteed apple tree. Guaranteed. If you live in the South, I even got my mud boots on. If you live in the South, I'm going to show you a tree that's guaranteed to give you apples, and they're sweet. They're green, but they're sweet. They're green, is yellowish with red stripes, but they're sweet. So, I'm going to show you right now. Hold on. I put them glasses on old as hell, didn't I? Look, as you can see you see those apples? Baby apples all over the tree. All over the tree. Now, I might pull these apples off because this is his first year blooming. Now, I'm going to tell you what the deal is with this tree. I'm going to tell you why this tree is so special. Look at all these little apples. Behind there is the apple. These just got pollinated. I'm going to tell you what's so special about this apple. This is the Anna apple. If you want a guaranteed apple tree that's going to fruit in a container, it's going to fruit in the ground, it'll fruit on your rooftop, it'll fruit in your basement, it's going to give you fruit no matter where you put it or how you put it. All right? I just planted this tree 4 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago. What's up, Sunday Backyard Farmer? What's up, bro? I just planted this tree. And here's the funny part. It was in my driveway with the rest of those trees right there. It was in my driveway and it was fruiting. So I said, I better hurry up and get this in the ground. So the Anna apple for the South, the Anna apple and the Dorset Golden. Please write these down because this is important for my Southerners. Dorset Golden apple. Now we're going to do a whole bunch of running around, so hang tight, okay? Dorset Golden, Anna apple. Here's the Dorset Golden right here. And I don't, it's fruiting, and I don't even have that in the ground yet. It's starting to bloom, but it pollinated a couple. Anna and Dorset Golden. Those are two major fruiters for the South. I mean, no matter what you do. I'm going to skip over to the pears, okay? For the South, if you have an Orient pear, listen close, not an Oriental pear. This is it's just called the Orient pear, like the Orient Express. And it's round like an Oriental pear, so don't get it confused. It's called the Orient. And every last one of these have been pollinated. It does this every single year. Every single year it's fully loaded. You can see that one even starting to turn color. So every Orient pear is a heavy, high producing fruit tree, pear tree. Stick with me on this. Every Orient pear tree, heavy producer. Now we're going to switch gears into the Asian pears, heavy, high producers. This is a Shinseki pear. Can you see all of those? Every last one of those have been pollinated. And you can see the blooms still on some of them, but every last one of these have been pollinated. This is the Shinseki Oriental pear tree. This is an Asian pear tree. Every one of these flowers have been pollinated. That's why they miss them. See that? You can always tell when they've been pollinated because the ball on the back of the flower gets big. So, the Shinseki Oriental pear tree, Asian pear tree. This is why I know, because I had one before the beaver ate it, right? Okay, I've tasted these pears. Terrific. This is how I know it's a super producer, because all the years I've ever had them, they always produce. Soon as you put them in the ground, here you go. I put this in the ground last fall. When I put that avocado tree in the ground, weeks later, I put this Shinseki in the ground. See how I still got it standing up? Every last one of those is pollinated. First year, the tree can't even stand up on its own. The tree cannot stand up on its own, okay? So I got other Asian pear trees. I got the Shinko Asian pear tree. Shinko. I write all of these names down. I promise you, if you live in the South, this is going to help you. If you live in the North, it's really going to help you. But my Southerners, these are the ones that you're looking for. Instead of stop trying to experiment. I'm in zone 8A, and I'm telling you what, they handle the cold that we have down here, and they definitely handle the heat. Our problem is not so much the cold all the time. Ours is the heat. These can handle the heat. Most apple trees cannot handle our heat. Yes, it's a Shinseki pear. Okay, here's another one. This is the Shinko. I'm sure this, no, Hosui. This is the Hosui pear. It's just now starting to bloom. The Hosui pear. Write it down. Hosui Asian pear tree is a guarantee for the South. Not, I'm talking about from 8A on down. Now here's the Shinko. It's just now waking up too. Guaranteed fruiter. Now here's another thing. The reason why I'm telling y'all about the apple and pear trees on my land is because these are also trees that don't get fire blight very often. When they combat fire blight very well, very well. So here we go. Let me say you got mad pear trees. I'm not even done. That's just a few, and the rest of my trees on the other side, over there on the other side of my bug out bus. But come on, let's keep it rolling. Let me see. Hold on, we about to black out. We going down Lemon Lane. Everything looks so wonderful. Everything made it, and everything is looking good except for my avocado. Okay. Okay. Now, we on the other end of my house. This family, I'm going to change my tune. Here is another Orient pear tree. This big one. This the big one here. Fully loaded. Fully loaded. This is a guaranteed fruiter all day. Guaranteed fruiter. So remember that Orient pear tree. They don't get fire blight very often, and when they do, they can combat it very easy. I took a piece of this tree, the Orient on this tree, and grafted it onto this Bartlett tree. And this is the only piece of this tree on this other pear tree that's fully loaded with fruit so far. But the moon glow that I grafted onto this pear tree, this is the first year that this piece has ever bloomed. So I'm excited like a child. Look at this. See these blooms right here? These is flowering blooms. I'm just showing you what the flower buds look like. These little knuckles like that, you don't want to cut them off. People prune their trees too much and mess it up. They don't know what they're cutting off. You cutting off your food. Okay? So this is the moon glow pear. That's another hard hitter. Okay? Now, I got the moon glow, the Orient, and a couple other pear trees grafted onto this big mama. But here's the funny part. I forgot to cut off a piece of this Bartlett pear tree. And for over a year, I kept saying, I'm going to cut it, I'm going to cut it, I'm going to cut it, I'm going to cut it. Guess what happened? I didn't cut it. And now look how tall this pear tree is. That's it all the way to the top. See it? So it's about 20 feet tall. And I don't know if you can see every one of those little nodules on the tip of those branches. Every single one of those little balls on the tip of those branches is fruit. I'm going to take you up there. Every last one of those. Every last one is fruit. So, I wanted to show y'all this for my Southerners that can't get no love from the apples and the pears. I'm showing you some guaranteed hitters. If the squirrels don't wipe me out this year, my pears and my apples is going to be all over the place. Okay, so Should you buy a bigger pear tree? Should you buy a bigger fruit tree? The answer I'm going to give you is yes. I'm going to do this real quick because I got these apples in my pocket. People going to be thinking I'm walking around my backyard with a sack of balls. All right, ladies. Now let me do this real quick, y'all. Look. Just let them go to town, give them a little treat. Sometimes give your chickens a little treat. Boost morale when they got to stay in this cage too long. They got them going nuts. Y'all ain't got to fight. I got y'all faded. I ain't got the eggs today. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. One more to go. I'm cutting them up like Chef Ramsay and that was gross. Y'all have y'all way with it. Be merry. Oh, baby, I didn't mean to hit you in the back. Y'all gotta move. All right, let's keep this rolling. Let's keep this rocking. I had to get him light my load too. So, okay. Any questions? Because I could go on and on. Matter of fact, make sure you got your nut trees together. Broke, my brother Broke. Get your nut trees, bruh. Pecans, healthy nuts. Almonds, pecans, don't plant walnuts. Here's the deal. If you plant walnuts in your yard, somewhere close to your garden, the roots send out a toxin. Yes, plant pistachio if you want to, hazelnut, yes. But walnuts send out a toxin that leaches into the ground and poisons your food. Did y'all know about that? My wife was telling me about that. Where do you buy your fruit trees? All over the place. My wife was reading up on that and told me about it, and it was something that was intriguing to me because I was going to buy a walnut tree. Now, let's get back to it. Another guaranteed Southern apple hitter, okay? Granny Apple, Granny Smith, fully loaded every year. Every single year, this tree is fully loaded. Now, I want to show y'all how I know each one of these trees fruit, and they fruit like crazy in the South. Because I've eaten fruit off each and every last one of these pears, and even though these smaller ones you see are fairly new, yeah, do your research on that, Caribbean, trust me. I couldn't believe it myself. Even though these are new, I'm gonna show you how I know, okay? For the people that say, how you know about all these apples, and all his trees is small. This is why. Watch this. Do you see that? Let me show you something. Do you see that? You see why this tree so little? You see it? What look like been biting that? What bit that down? Go look at my video from last summer. This tree was almost 20 feet tall. Go look at my this was the Anna apple. This was the Anna apple loaded with apples. Loaded. Okay, let's come on over here. Here go my Saturn peach tree. Saturn peach. I pulled it up now, but Saturn peach gone. Let me show you something. If I forget to put these cages around my tree, my beavers will eat them. And I'm going to show you how tall my beavers are. Each and every last one of the beavers, they're getting bigger, like people. I don't know what they eating, but they're bigger, stronger. I'm going to show you how tall the beavers are. I had a cage on this. I had a tube coming up and then this branch coming out the other side, just to give you some reference of how tall this beaver is. Because right now, it don't look like he could be that tall, right? Why do I got the cage all the way up here? Watch this. Then I'm going to show you why. Watch this. Where is it at? Oh. Look where I am. Look where I am. Hip high, right? No, that's waist high. Waist high. Look at my waist. Waist high, okay? Waist high. Right here. Now, I want you to focus on this. Waist high. You see what that is? I'm going to bring you around so you can see it better. Waist high. That beaver ate out of that tree right there. Let me make this be still so you can see better. Hold on. You can see it better now. See that gouge right there? I put this in the way so he can't get back in there. See that? Now look. What? Look. Okay. So, all around my land, I've been having to raise up my cages even higher because the beaver is that tall. He's that big, where he eats all of my big trees down. So that is why, thank you, bro. That's why all my trees are smaller every year. You will see me with a big one and then it's gone, right? It didn't die, it got eaten. And that's part of my fault because I didn't take proper precautions. And when I did take proper precautions, I underestimated the beaver. So there's been a war with me and this beaver for like 7 years, okay? So, guaranteed apple trees for the South. The North, this is a given for you. You can plant any kind you want. But for my Southerners, Granny Smith, Yellow Delicious. These are guaranteed trees, I promise you, guaranteed. You got my word. Yellow or Golden Delicious. Red Delicious. This Gold Delicious ain't woke up yet. I'm gonna keep going. Now, all of these trees that I'm telling you about, the apple trees, are so-so. Grow Family Network in the house, my brother, my man. What's going on, man? Good to see you. I seen somebody say hey to you. I ain't see you yet. One of my favorite, apple trees for the South. Apple trees for the South. Apple trees for the South. Pink Lady. This is the Honeycrisp of the South. And when I say this thing pumps out crazy fruit, listen, I like Pink Lady better than a Honeycrisp. So for my Southerners, if you want that Honeycrisp apple, and we all want that Honeycrisp apple, you want that Cosmic Crisp, you want that, what's that other one, Candy Crisp, we can't have them. But we got the Pink Lady. She loved this heat. They even grow the Pink Lady over in India. They grow it in, what's the other one? Oh, I don't want to mess up. Like Iraq, over in the desert. So the Pink Lady is sweet or sweeter than the Honeycrisp, and we can grow it right here. Okay, so we got the Pink Lady, which is our favorite, Granny Smith apple, Pink Lady apple, Anna apple, Dorset Golden apple, Granny Smith, Gold Delicious, Red Delicious. Those are the Arkansas black. Arkansas black. Arkansas black. So here's my Red Delicious going off. It's about to start pumping out some goodies. You see it? It's waking up. So I'm here to tell you, those are guaranteed apple and pear trees. I'm living proof right now. You see the loquats? You ain't seen no loquats. Y'all want to see some real loquats? These are my loquats that I've had in containers for about 2 or 3 years. The golden nugget loquat. I got 2 of them back here. But do y'all want to see some real loquats? Come on, come on. I'm going to take y'all with me. We're going to buffer a little bit. Get your nut trees up. Get your figs up. Get your berries up. Blueberry, blackberry, raspberry. But I'm going to say this to stick with the title. Can you propagate pecans and cuttings in water? I don't know. I've never tried that. Should you pay a little extra money for a bigger tree? I'm going to say yes. At this time, if you can, I'm going to say yes. Because time is of the essence. Get your figs right. I got figs all over the place. And that cold snap kind of kicked them in the nuts, but we good. So I'm going to show you another super healthy tree. Another super healthy tree that you should get. Here is my jujube tree, and it's waking up. I got 2 of them last season, and I thought they was dead when they came. Hell, this winter I thought they was dead too. Jujube tree. Super healthy, super. If you like dates, if you like medjool dates. Yes, Arkansas black, Willie. Yes. Jujube. I got the Lee and the Lang, and I'm looking for the honey pot. The honey jujube. And this is the one we grafted. It's starting to wake up in some places, so I don't know what part of the tree that is. Now, here we go. If you do not have a loquat, loquats, the staple of the South. Look at all that rain and that cold got them. The cold really don't get them that much. It be the water. It be the moisture mostly. Just knock those little gooey ones off so it don't mold the rest. Loquats. Now these are my loquats in the ground. And this one had a rough time because I just put that in the ground like last year. But this one was been in the ground since me and my friend Diana from the Garden Love channel. This one is loaded this year. She loaded. You see all of these fruit? They get big and yellow and delicious. These taste like a mix between an orange. They get really big, like that big. Tastes like a mix between a mango and an orange. Or they just taste like little mangoes. All these little wet ones, you want to get off of there because they'll mold and rot the rest of them. But you see, my girl is loaded this year. Loaded. Look at this. Look what the cold and the wet did. Look what that did. It killed the whole patch of them. Look at that. It ruined the whole bunch. Aw, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. The weather been so stupid. Loquats is built to last through that. But not this year. Because one day it was 70-something degrees. And that night it dropped to 30 degrees. No, it was like 80, almost 80 degrees. And it dropped down to 30-something degrees. So, all right. So we're going to finish this off right here again. Should you buy a small tree? I say yes. But I also say, if you can afford it right now, If you can afford it, please, yes, purchase a larger tree. Okay, I'm gonna answer a few questions and I'm gonna get out of here. Would you would you buy the fruit tree in the bags, or do you only? I buy them all, bare root, bagged, potted. It don't matter. Lead, is it a certain loquat? No, no. And you know what? I hear loquats can grow from seed real good too, and be pretty true to the mother tree. That's what I've heard. They're all pretty much golden nugget when they ain't got no name on them. Golden nugget. Where do you buy trees? Everywhere. When is RV part 2? Probably tomorrow. Do you fertilize your trees in your pots? Definitely from what it grows. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. How is my pluot doing? A beaver ate it. What is? What about plum cots? My beaver ate them. Will apple trees grow in containers? Yes, they will. But every year you gotta, every couple years you got to cut the root ball back off, put the little root ball back in there, cut off. I wouldn't put an apple tree in a container. You can do it. You can do it, and you'll get fruit. I just wouldn't do it because I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest problems with growing fruit trees like an apple or a pear in a 5 gallon bucket or container. I'm gonna give you a good tip because I still do. Look, I got a peach tree in this container, and what I forgot to show you was all my trees in the container in the back. Right? Here's the deal that you got to be ready for. Damn, this is a terrible tripod. This tripod is really on the yellow bus. Okay. One of the things about putting your fruit tree in a in a uh, in a container like a 5 gallon bucket, because I still do it. But here's one thing that you got to watch out for: your your tree is going to keep falling over in the wind with the slightest wind. If the tree start growing and getting big and lush, what's to anchor it down? Nothing. You can't put enough bricks on top of that pot to keep it in place. You can't. Now, I did come up with an idea years ago where I dug holes the halfway size of the bucket and stuck the bucket down in the hole. Here's the problem with that. I might as well put the damn tree in the ground. Right? So that's dumb. So why did you get rid of the Stella cherry tree? Because each and every little piece of fruit, that's a good question. Each and every piece of fruit on a cherry tree here in the South, get this little bug that bores in it and lays eggs in a cherry tree, right? Okay. If you can combat that, here's the problem. Every bird will eat. A bird can eat a whole cherry and fly away. If I got an apple, the bird pecks at the apple, pecks at the apple, pecks at the apple. I could shoot an apple or come out and have a whole bunch of pecked apple, cut that off, and still have a meal. You can't have no meal on a cherry. You're constantly fighting the birds and the bugs for cherries. So that's a waste of my time. So you have to. You have if you're up north, you won't have that many problems like that. But I'm in the south. Okay, how long should I grow my apple trees from seed or transplanting outside? You're gonna be growing that for a long time. I would suggest you start learning how to graft onto that tree that you grew from a seed. Do you prune your roots or trees in the pot? No, I don't. I try not to do that anymore. I don't put trees that need to be big. Trees that's supposed to be big, I try not to put those in containers. You could put a peach tree, plum tree, uh, uh, pluot, those type of trees, the what is called stone fruit trees, they do okay in containers, big containers. But then they dry out fast, so you better have some kind of water source going to them at all times. How far apart should you plant trees? I don't go by that rule at all. Do you order trees? Yes, I do. Can you prune fruit trees like a pear tree, apple, fig? Can you prune your fruit trees now? Yes, you should do it before they fully leaf all the way out so you can see what you're doing. Would figs and dates sustain in Western New York? I have no, they won't. No, they won't. No. Fig, if you buy a Chicago Hardy fig, but not a date, no. I was getting ready to buy a lime tree. What's your favorite tasting banana to grow? Edible ones. The two loquats black tropical homestead. No, I'm just joking with you. What's my favorite tasting banana trees to grow? Just listen, if you can get a banana, any kind of banana, when it comes to a banana, the tastes are so similar that I wouldn't take one over another. They're all delicious. I'll be honest with you. I would just take them. They're not so different like an apple versus an orange. It's a banana, and you might taste a hint of something else. But here's the deal with a banana tree: you might have the same banana plant going on this second season, is producing another hand of bananas, and that year your bananas taste different from the same plant. So it's like it's no really such thing. And when people say, like, I got the ice cream banana, they're good, they're really delicious, they really are. But when you really barrel down to it, like a grand name banana, that's the one I've produced off more. I've eaten more grand names. Every year it would taste different. It would taste better, or have a flavor in it. So if you can get a banana to produce fruit, just go for any kind you want. Let me see. Can you prune new fruit tree transplant? Yes. Will banana trees grow well in Clemson? Yes. If you in Clemson, if you talk about Clemson, South Carolina, if you in Clemson and you ain't drove by and seen a banana tree yet, you might need to get out. But yeah, banana trees is all over the place down here. Will a Fuyu persimmon last in a 5-gallon bucket? Absolutely not. It'll do that for maybe a year or two. You don't want to stunt that growth because it has a long root stem, a long center leader root. Does a small pot plant adapt into ground planting compared to a larger pot tree? I don't understand your question. I just bought my first fruit trees this year. This stand is kind of making me ill. Hold on, this one going to the trash heap here. Useless, man. That stand is useless. I'd rather use this little baby stand. Golly. All right, let's try this. Jeez. That definitely is going to get recycled, if you get my drift. That's better. That's whack, but it's better than that piece of crap. That thing had the gangster lean like a... What's up, New Orleans Garden? How we doing, T-Nog? Okay, let me try some more questions real quick. Can you grow Meyer lemons from bought ones at the store? Yes, you can, but it'll take you forever. Sitting in the... Okay, let me see. Can you grow a banana tree in Georgia? Yes, you can. When is the best time to get a graft off of my peach tree to make a new tree? If you're talking about an air layer, you want to start that. If you said in Georgia, if you're in Georgia, I would start right now. If you're in the South, I would start that air layer right now. Hey, Beauty in the Garden. Planted my plums years ago. Let me see. I got 17-gallon laundry bucket from... Okay. Let me see. Okay. When should you prune lemon and lime tree? I really wouldn't prune a lemon or a lime tree. If they're not there, you just don't go pruning stuff because they tell you to prune your trees. Why are you pruning it? Is the question you have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself that before you go picking up scissors. There's really no real reason to prune lemon and lime trees unless the branches are rubbing, the branches are diseased or dead or dying. Other than that, there is no reason to be pruning your citrus like that. Or unless you're just trying to shape it like something, which I don't condone. Let me see. Where we at? We got 6 minutes, y'all. How can I stop squirrels from a peach tree? You can't. You can only try, and I suggest the squirrelinator trap. I've been Yes, here I come. Here I come. Wait for me. I've been given 2 fig trees and 2 apple trees, and they need to be dug up and moved to my house. Will it hurt the trees? No. And before I leave, I'm going to give you an example of that right now. Okay. As you can see, let me get through here. Okay, let me show you something here. As you can see here, I had this whole driveway poured about a month and a half ago. So my RV can fit right here. Okay? Now let me show you something else. I don't know if y'all remember this, but pay attention. Where this whole 2 slabs, you see that whole 2 slabs of driveway that been poured, where my RV is, right? That didn't used to exist. You see these peach tree, almond tree, and I had a pear tree. They were way over there. I'm gonna show you where they used to be. If my phone hold out. They used to be where that truck is. All of these trees that I'm standing in front of right here, and all of these trees here used to be over there. Look, fresh soil. You can see a fresh soil right there because I moved them. Fresh planting right here. I moved them all. Here's another one. Fresh soil. I moved it. Now I had a Asian pear tree. I also had an Asian pear tree, and I moved it all the way back here because I was running out of space. Oh. And our palm tree. Our palm tree used to be in the back of my RV. Wait a minute, let me see something. Yeah, there we go. My palm tree used to be directly in the back of this, up under this RV. So I had to move the palm tree right there. And I also moved that other Asian pear tree right here. This is the Korean giant Asian pear tree. This is also brand new. And I moved it right here. So I wanted to show y'all that before we took off. All right. Any last quick questions? We got 3 minutes left. I can't believe we did that so fast. But yes, you can move them, and I'm going to tell you how to move them. Dig up as much soil as you possibly can. Dig up as big a root ball as you possibly can, and scoot it over onto a tarp. Pull the tarp with your tractor or get somebody to help you. Pull the tarp with the tree on it to wherever you plan on going. If you plan on moving out of state, out of town, or across town, wrap it up, wrap that root ball up, and take it with you, and then plant it wherever you plan on planting it. Do you use any weed killers? Absolutely not. I'm a beekeeper and I have livestock. I don't use any chemicals. Question, I have a fig tree in a tent growing lights. I have a fig tree and elderberry tree in my grow tent under lights. Can I bring them outside? It depends on what your weather is like. Your fig tree, it depends on where you are. Oh, that's wet. It depends on where you are. How do I get rid of cats? I don't know. How do I keep worms and apples? How do I keep worms out of apples and peaches? You don't. If you listen, if you're gonna be using chemicals, you might as well just go buy your food from the store. What is your most favorite fruit to grow and why? Lead? All of them, because they keep me alive. Do you ever use 35% peroxide to grow anything? Absolutely not. And I frankly think that's one of the most ridiculous things that's floating around the internet. Why on God's green earth would I use something so special and important as peroxide, especially in these days and time, to do anything outside? I would not waste something so precious at this moment to do such a foolish thing. And I'm not saying you're the fool. I'm talking about it's a lot of people running around talking about using peroxide and all these essential things that we need to keep ourselves safe and healthy on plants when here's the deal. You don't have to use anything on your plants if you take care of your soil. Look, let me show you something real quick. I know I said I'm gonna get off, but this is the truth. When we're done with a bag of coffee grounds, which she keep threatening me, I'm supposed to be putting this out in the garden. Coffee ground, banana peels, coffee ground. No, them used to be eggshells. Coffee grounds. This is what we use from how coffee grounds. When you, here you go. Watch this. Watch this. Uh, uh, um, Vinegar scraps. That stuff is out here because that goes into the garden. That feeds the soil. And once your soil is filled with all of that bacteria and that nutrients, think about this. All the stuff that you put into your soil, you're trying to do the soil. Stick with me on this, okay? You're trying to turn the soil into what we're supposed to be turning our body into. Now I'm listening to Lady Led. You should be trying to get as much good gut bacteria into your body. And that's what the kombucha is all about. And the vinegar is all about. We want to keep as much gut bacteria in our bodies to help us process fats, foods, sugars, and everything else, right? Think about this. So what do? You create a bacteria from like kombucha. Stick with me on kombucha. You create a bacteria that's eating all the sugars and all the toxins that's in this water, right? In this liquid. And then you drink that and you put that bacteria in your body and all of a sudden you ain't hungry. All of a sudden you can think clearer. All of a sudden you ain't as tired, right? Kombucha has done that for me since I've been drinking it for the last few weeks, and I just couldn't figure it out. Now, now that you know how kombucha works in your body, stick with me. You're doing the same thing with your soil. You're putting the eggshells, coffee grounds, banana peels, fruit skins, old fruit, old garbage. You're putting that into the ground because you're creating that bacteria in the ground that's helping the soil become a feeding ground of nutrients for your plants. So when your plants now, just like your body, are able to defend off predators. See, once your gut bacteria is running right, it helps you fight off diseases. So once your soil bacteria and your soil fungi is working properly, it helps your plant fight off pests and predators and diseases that you wouldn't even have to put any chemicals and stuff on. Because bugs, insects, predators, pests, they only feed on unhealthy plants, stressed out vegetation. Whether it's too hot, it's too cold, or it's just completely unhealthy. Listen, insects and pests are no different than people. You don't see nobody bullying the big, strong, muscular kid, do you? No. You don't see them bullying the big, strong, muscular kid. They always find the smallest kid, the weakest kid, the quietest kid, the one with no defenses. They look at that child, the other kids, bully kids, they look at that other sad kid and they push him around till they beat him up, right? And sometimes even further than that. Insects are no different in your garden. They find the weakest, most stressed out, smallest, inferior plants and they feed upon it until it's gone. It's no different. Pests and insects and garden diseases are nothing more than bullies. So how do you fix that? How do you fix that? You boost that kid. You feed that kid the right food. You get him some exercise. You teach him some karate lessons. Put him in karate school. Show him how to defend himself. You do no different with your garden. You get that doggone garden into karate class by putting in the proper things to feed that soil. When you feed that soil, you feed your plants. You don't need a whole bunch of crazy crap. I promise you. We don't use it. We don't need it. And if one of our plants happened to fall to the insects, I know that was my fault. I know I didn't do enough for my soil. So that lets me know for next season, okay, I'm going harder with the eggshells because I didn't put all my eggshells in the garden this year. Some of them I let go in the garbage. Nah, no, now I'm going hard. I don't have enough coffee grounds of my own. Now I'm going to all the coffee shops and getting they spare coffee grounds because my garden got to feed. You got to use your head. You got to do your due diligence because I'm going to tell you this. When you put chemicals in your garden, it's like you taking a pill for a headache. It's no different. All you did is dull the pain with a chemical. You still got a headache. That's the part that people don't understand. And see, that's another part why I'm not a nurse anymore, because that's the part that people don't understand. If you take a pill to get rid of your headache, I ain't gonna say all pills. Most pills are there to numb the pain, okay? Is there to numb the pain. The pain is still there. You just can't feel it. It's like Ambisol for your teeth or something else, right? It's no different. Just because you sprayed these chemicals on your plants to keep the pests at bay, you did not fix the problem in your garden. And it's going to come back. And when it come back, it's going to be worse. So that's like when you numb something or take a pill to get rid of a pain, right? When the pill wear off, ain't the pain always 100 times worse? Okay, your garden is no different. If we all start thinking about our gardens like we think about our bodies and our health, we'll understand it more, because we don't even understand that this is a symbiotic relationship. We feed off the garden feeds off of us. It goes in a big circle. It all goes in a big circle, right? So you need to understand the garden is only feeding you what you feed it, back and forth, back and forth. So if break off and start feeding your garden more healthy, it's going to start feeding you more healthy, and then that's going to keep reciprocating. But you got to make sure you understand your own gut health and your own health and well-being before you can get that garden together. Until then, you're just going to keep on spreading chemicals on your garden, and you're going to keep on popping pills to numb your pain, your headaches, and your migraines. People don't even know that your migraines and everything else come from poor health. That's it. You got a headache because you probably got high blood pressure. What does high blood pressure cause from? Poor health, poor eating habits, poor exercise habits, poor diet. All of that'll go. Your back always hurting. Why? Because you're carrying too much weight, because you got poor eating habits, you got poor gut health. That you don't got nothing inside your body fighting off diseases. You don't have anything in your body helping you fight and burn fat and burn sugar. You don't have that. And that's what, listen, your gut bacteria is, believe it or not, it's like we're just robots. And the bacteria is the real pilot. They're the pilots of our body. Okay? They're the ones calling the shots. Without that pilot in the cockpit, the plane don't move. It can, but it's going to do a piss poor job at it, right? And that's what we all walking around with as we're overweight, we're unhealthy, because our pilots is jacked up. We got to get that good gut bacteria back in our bodies so we can start feeling better, losing more weight, being more mobile, and it's no different than the garden. You got to add that coffee grounds, eggshells, banana peels, old bread, cardboard, paper. You're feeding that garden like you would be feeding your kombucha, okay? So I'm gonna leave it there because I'll be talking to y'all all night about this because I told you I get excited about my garden. Don't get it twisted, okay? I'll show you a handful of generators, but my garden is my first love. Okay, so let's tighten that up a little bit, because I heard a couple whispers like, man, he falling off. Let's not get it twisted now. Old lead ain't out the game. All right, I get excited. Just if you understand that, family, you will having a good healthy garden is easier than what you think.
So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I said I was gonna be on here just an hour, and I'm on here an hour and 10 minutes. I hope this helped everybody. I hope, especially the end, because I really want you to feel that. I want you to feel that last 15 minutes of this video. You can even cut the last 15 minutes of this video off, and don't listen. You ain't even gotta listen to the rest. Listen to this last 15, 20 minutes of this video, and just close your eyes and feel me on that, because everything I told you is God's honest truth. Okay? Everybody have a wonderful day. All my gardeners, preppers, and two-way community, all my people out there, please stay up. Grow some food. Grow your own. Eat your own. All right? Live Farmer 73. I love all of y'all. Please go get your gardens going. Get you some fruit trees right now. I don't care how you plant them. Just plant them. Stop waiting around asking a whole bunch of questions. Get them planted. All right? Time ain't waiting on you. No more. Live Farmer 73. I love you.